everyone. I'm glad you decided to check this video out. Today I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to refurbish a home sign that I received as a gift several years ago. It's been outside and it's a little worse for wear, and I just want to spruce it up a little bit, maybe change the style. It's going to be at a lake condo, so I like the colors of the blue and the whites for the lake. So I'm going to do this shutter in different colors as well. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a really cute design that we're going to put here in the middle for the O in home. So to begin, I'm going to paint the shutter area of this sign with this Waverly chalk paint in Ocean. It's a beautiful blue, and I think it's going to look really good. Okay, so now that I have painted most of this with the Waverly chalk paint in Ocean, I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, that's really blue. First of all, don't be afraid of color. I love it when I see people who have bright colors places. If you're not afraid of color, it's wonderful because color just makes people smile. It makes people happy. However, we will be going over most of this blue with a dry brush and the Waverly chalk paint in Nimbus, because the color that I'm going for on this is kind of like that blue lake vibe with, you know, kind of streaks of the gray in it. So a lot of this blue is going to be covered up with this Waverly Nimbus. So let's get started and see how this is going to look. The great thing about paint is if you don't like it, you can start over, you can repaint, and it's going to look great. Now, a few hacks that I'm going to give you that I like to do is I pour my paint in these cheap little cupcake holders. They're wonderful. I find that the Waverly paint is so great, it's really hard to wash off of those washable paint trays. So that's why I like using these. Once I'm done, I just put those in the trash. Another thing I like to use are these little puppy pads. They're great for dabbing off a lot of paint when you're going to dry brush like I'm fixing to do. They're also great for putting under your projects while you're painting or doing any other thing. Kind of prevents damaging your tabletop, although my tabletop is pretty messy. It is my craft table, so I'm not real concerned about it. Okay, so let's get started on this dry brushing. Like I said, it's a dry brush from the Dollar Tree, and I dip it in the paint, and then I just basically dab off a lot of the extra, and then just start going with the grain of my wood. It's good to go with the grain of the wood because it kind of flows better. It doesn't look, you know, disjointed or whatever. And like I told you, you can see how that blue is starting to disappear. And if you mess up and put too much, you can just go right back over that and fix the problem. As you can see, it's already starting to dim that blue quite a bit, which was exactly the look I was going for. Go through these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like those letters being in white, but that's something that we'll take into consideration once the highlighting is done. You ever been to like an old beach town or a lake town and you see the worn shutters or signs that are out? They kind of have this little vibe to them, and I like that. I just like the beach theme or the lake theme. And like I said, this is going to be at a lake condo, so I think that this is going to be a perfect little addition to my decor there at the lake. Okay, all the dry brushing is completed. I have touched up the letters with a little bit of white and the Nimbus, and then I have painted the circle that I'm going to be attaching here for the O in home. And I was excited to show you this idea that I had with the Dollar Tree Nautical Anchor. Now, they have a lot of things at Dollar Tree right now that are wonderful if you have a lake theme, if you have a lake house, or if you just like the items that are kind of beachy. But anyway, as you can see, it's kind of purple, and I'm not real fond of the purple, but we're going to end up putting it here in our circle, and that is going to be our O in home. But I think what we need to do is marry up these two colors, so we need to paint this anchor with the same chalk paint that we used before, which is Ocean by Waverly. Okay, so that's dried, and now you can see it's basically the same color as the shutter that we've done. Now let's get all the pieces glued into place. Those raised parts. And you get it in there in the center. Then we just attach our anchor. Just using glue. My sign is not going to be out in the elements. It's going to be under a covered porch. So I don't not worry too much about sealing it or anything. Now there we go. Now I think as a final touch, we're going to go with this nautical rope from Dollar Tree. It's great, I love it. And I think it would look perfect running right along the inside here of this sign. So let's get that attached and see what we think. I'm loving this already. Like I said, this is one of my favorite styles. So I'm really liking the nautical rope with the lake theme going on here already. Just hitting the upper tops of those slabs just to catch that rope. When you get to the end here, just snip that rather close. Put your glue down there. And that's where your rope ends right in. Back around for you. And there you have it. That's my nautical sign. To go at my lake condo. I almost feel like we need a little bit of white wash on this. And how about we finish it off with a little bit of rope right there. I think that would be great. I like to make little tassel ends on this nautical rope. Just come back a little bit from the top, tie a knot. If you can see here, tie a knot. Really, it should be a double knot. That way it stays nice and together. You tie that double knot. And I like to furl my little individual pieces out. Kind of makes it look a little bit like French. And we the same thing to the other side. Double knot that. Roll those ends out. Cut off the excess. Then we'll just put it. That's more excess. Then we're just going to put it. It's going to be kind of decorative on here. Just glue gun it right there to the top of our sign. To the other side. It's really going to hang by this wire in the back. That'll be kind of a cute decorative thing. Now what do you think? Do you think we should go over this with a little bit of whitewash, not much? Let's try that. Let's use my finger. I don't have to dirty up another paintbrush. Just hitting those highlight areas. And there we go. Ready to put that out at the condo, and I'll take a picture and let you guys see what it looks like. Thanks for crafting with me today, and so long.